What it do, y'all? It kind of feels like a little bit of time, but welcome back to the show. This is the Gray Area. You already know what it is. My name is Eric.
What's up, everybody? It's your man, Dejan Aman. We back at it again. Like Eric said, it took some time for us to come back home, but the longer waits the greatness. So Eric, I just have one question for you that we had all seen the NBA Finals, and I know you're a basketball fan yourself. I want to know, what did you think about the finals that just took place?
It was kind of crazy, to be honest. Like, I feel like a lot of people were like pulling through for Miami to come through because myself, I wanted Miami to win. But like LBJ, Anthony Davis, their like greatness came through and they really showed us why they're like the two best players on the planet right now. So I got to give it up for that, man. But another thing that was really interesting though about the NBA Finals and like the comeback of professional sports in general is like this wave of activism that the athletes and owners are like expressing, the coaches are showing. And that's what we wanted to talk about today. We want to dive in and like get you all in this conversation. So we want y'all to feel free to leave some comments for us. But we wanted to see what's going on with this. So, with the NBA, as they came back, they have these like new things on the back of their jerseys. They have like end racism, vote, Black Lives Matter, say their name, say her name. But the names on the back of the jerseys, it's an interesting like symbol. And that's why I kind of wanted to see. I wanted to see like, what was your opinion of that, DJ? I know you didn't like really watch much of it, but you said you've been checking up on it a little bit more now in your new job. So what did you feel about that? Did you see that as like a sign of like, oh, this is just us doing this thing and like putting this on the back of our jerseys and like not really walking, or is it really just like them just saying something and not really being about it?
So I believe that the players, they are all about it. All the players, they speak up through their social media. And I believe that all of the teams that act of wearing vote or social reform or education reform is based on the players voting on that. I don't think the owners or the coaches was about all that. Because you look at the NBA, you got everybody there are mostly minority, and we're going to say black people. And I believe that it was all about the players. It was the players that wanted it. Now, with the owners on it, I believe that was like something completely different from what the players wanted. And if it was up to the owners, they will continue just to say, wear your jerseys the regular way it was with the last name on top, no Black Lives Matter across the court and stuff like that.
It definitely was like an agreement between the players and the owners. It was one interesting case of Jimmy Butler that played for the Miami Heat. He was trying to opt to not have a name on the back of the jersey at all. And his like argument for that was, at the end of the day, if you're a black football player, a black baseball player, a black basketball player, when you're not in your uniform and you're just in your car driving, you're just a regular black person. So he wanted to give that message of not having nothing on the back. So it's not showing this disconnect between, because they have this platform as NBA players. And I thought that was super cool. But the NBA like said, no, you have to have one of these pre-given like slogans that they put on the back of the jersey that you could choose from. And like some people, they could choose not to. And I feel like that was even more telling. Like some of the people that did it, like opt to have something on the back of their jerseys.
Yeah, I find that funny too, where you have some players that didn't choose. Like, I remember Anthony Davis, he didn't have nothing on the back of his jersey. I was thinking, like, what the hell is that about? Like, he come from the south side of Chicago. I'd be thinking, like, if you're from that part, you should have something on the back of your jersey was like something toward the police, because, in urban neighborhoods, the police treat us like crap. But yeah, certain players not having that. I don't know if it has to be a personal thing if they choose not to have it on the back of their jersey.
And like try to look that up, but like my best educated guess that I can think of is like their endorsements deals and stuff like that. They don't want to mess up their money, and like I don't know, because some of these like high end brands like LeBron, because LeBron didn't have anything on the back of his jersey, and I'm sure it's like something with like sports deals and some shit that's just causing them not to do it.
But it's like, to have vote on the back of your jersey, how is this going to ruin your sports deal to tell somebody to vote? Unless you don't believe in voting. Or education reform. Like, how is
I totally feel you, man. I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate, because it's just like, maybe you never know what people got in play and like who's pulling the strings on people. Because like nowadays, these people deals and contracts, we think we have the First Amendment to speak as anything that we want, but people really don't. And you like know that.
I mean, but if you got somebody like LeBron James that doesn't want to put vote or something on the back of their jersey because they scared Nike might pull one of their shoes or some shit. Nike are the people that need to rework their contract. And Nike always trying to talk about like you're not for sure saying that Nike is doing this, but I don't think that's the case where it comes to endorsements and stuff like that. I think it's more of a personal choice. Like LeBron, I don't fault him because he's very vocal on his Twitter about all the injustices that's happening to Black people, where like the Breonna Taylor or just other things that Black people deal with. So I can't
more than a vote.
Yeah. So yeah, but getting into more of the details, the NBA has committed to a 10-year deal to sponsor $300 million into Black social justice community programs, and it's all basically dealing with youth. And Michael Jordan has done the same with his Jordan Brand deal, where they're going to be giving money over a 10-year period. Now, me and Eric, we do our homework. We recently looked up some things on how that deal is contradictory to what the owners of these teams are actually doing when it comes to politics and how they endorse laws that pass that are affecting Black people. So first thing we're going to talk about is the $300 million thing and how basically, Eric, how do you feel like this is going to make a change? Like, what are people saying about the $300 million? Like, is this enough?
It's opinions all over the place. Some people are in favor of it, like some NBA players from what we're reading. And this is from, just to let y'all know, this is from Forbes.com. So specifically like players on the NBA Players Association, that's where like the league and all of the big head officials and all of the owners, they come together with the Players Association to like negotiate deals and all of that stuff regarding. And a few of the players on there, they were like, yeah, it's okay, but specifically, the quote exactly says, is it a marketing plot or are we just doing this to build relationships? They're like arguing that the $10 million that these individual owners and teams are going to donate is really like a tax write-off. Because think about it, these teams make billions of dollars. So it's just like,
I'm sorry, Eric said 10 million because the specifics of the deal is there are 30 teams in the NBA. Each are going to get 10 million for a 10-year period. That's where you get the $300 million, just to break that down a bit more. But go ahead.
It's just like, is it a tax write-off or is it like actually doing something to benefit the community? Like, I, of course, always say it's benefiting the community, but you also got to think at the end of the day, this company makes billions of dollars. So anyway it goes, these people going to try to like cut off and write tax write-offs. That's why other people aren't like showing their taxes and stuff of that nature, because you have people doing dirty and like not grimy things, but things that is fishy, like Kyrie Irving has said before they started this book.
So you believe it's a tax write-off?
Say that it maybe is it could be a tax write-off, but they're also still doing something that's benefiting the community at the end of the day.
Something that I would say, because I mean, I'm not one for like trying to get the short end of the stick to our community where, you got to be another company like the National Basketball Association. But I feel like, if they wasn't given the $30 million over a 10-year period, who else was going to give the $30 million over a 10-year period to empower Black youth? If, still $30 million. And it could be different programs that they get. Like, I would like to understand more of how they're specifically giving the money, just to find out like how are they actually helping. But from the surface level, $30 million to these Black associations with youth, I feel like is a great thing. Now, people that saying it's a tax write-off, I think they should like recheck some things, because like, how you gonna try to run somebody else's pockets? Like, get your hand on my pocket is the famous quote, right?
But it's just like, I always preach to people like intentionality, and I don't know, the intentions may be there, but it's just like, I don't know, you still gotta think the other way. You gotta have your third eye open, man. I don't know. I'm just criticizing everybody's moves.
I mean, having our third eye open, we also found that the National Players Association, which are the people who mostly wanted to see this deal go through, are the ones who have the woke eye. But the owners are doing something different when it comes to funding political campaigns and stuff. A lot of these owners have an agenda where they're funding Republican parties that are associated with Donald Trump. And, when it comes to Trump, he has these underlying deals with certain companies, and it don't always work out for Black folks or people in the Black and brown communities. And within doing that, they are established a law where you can't hold a police officer accountable, or is less accountable for his actions or their actions if they shoot someone. And police officers mostly shoot Black and brown people, so you know, and by them donating to a Republican Party and them enforcing that law, it is harming many Black and brown people instead of helping.
I would say it's a lot of owners are backing up the Republican Party, but there definitely is a fair share of owners like supporting the Democratic Party. So from the Ringer, this is an article from the Ringer. That's a affiliation of, it's like a news outlet from the NBA, and actually the number one owner that donates the most is Steve Ballmer from the Clippers, and he donated to the Democratic Party. And this is an article from the Ringer. It's a NBA like news outlet, and he's donated $8 million, while the second highest owner donated probably about $5 million. Dan DeVos from the Magic, and he donated to the Republican Party. So there's a fair share. It's not like it's definitely leaning to one side, but then you got to think about, again, like, why are y'all donating so much to these like platforms? Like, why does the NBA, specifically Steve Ballmer for the Clippers in LA, need to donate money to the Democratic Party? It's kind of interesting to like think about that stuff. But we definitely wanted to inform you all on some people in the NBA specifically. His name was Mohamed Abdul-Rauf. He was the first NBA player to not stand for the national anthem. So his story is pretty interesting. During that season, the 1995-1996 season, this man was on fire. He was torturing Michael Jordan. And like, if not many people remember, he gave Michael Jordan 31 points during that season when they went 73-10. So it was like he was a pretty good player for the Denver Nuggets. And once the NBA found out that he was not standing for the anthem, they suspended him for 1 game. And then the NBA Players Association and the owners, David Stern, that was a commissioner at the time, they came to an agreement that he can close his eyes and look down and pray, because he converted to the Nation of Islam. So he did his prayers during the national anthem. And the crazy thing, though, like during that season, his playing time started to dip after they found out that he wasn't standing. And then all of a sudden the next season, he was traded to a different team, and then less playing time. And then somehow they weeded him out of the NBA, just like how they did with Colin Kaepernick. So that was an early instance of an NBA star that had did that.
If no racists are safe and are weeded out, then you will have players like Muhammad who could stand and have a political platform without having to fear for his career or being weeded out of the system, you know?
So yeah, y'all, that was just a quick glance over some of the protests that's going on within the NBA and some of the activism that's happened throughout history. And it's pretty freaking interesting that I'm a part of. Like, I've seen like this like crazy like turn in history, and like this will be in the history books like this 2020. And it's crazy that we're all living through this. So definitely feel free to comment and like tell us what you think and like how you feeling about what's going on, man. Like, DJ, you got any last words for the people before we head out? I missed this.
Yeah. I just, in my head, I'm thinking about the players. I feel like there's going to be some tensions between the Players Association and the NBA and what some of the owners are doing in their personal lives, where it's like contradictory happening with black and racial injustice and stuff like that. Now, I'm wondering how this is going to play out, but for that $300 million, congratulations to that. But you know, we got to do more, not just for the NBA, but I say we as a people got to do more. But yeah, that's the gray area.